Good morning, everyone. I'm gonna talk about the 9 questions to ask your new lover. What you were afraid to ask, but always wanted to know. Who has this happened before? Raise your hands. I think it's really common. So,
But just one?
I think 2.
Yeah, everyone.
3.
Maybe.
4.
Maybe.
Okay, we'll be honest.
don't be ashamed.
You should raise her.
Maybe you wanted to ask, but you were afraid of the answers. And maybe those questions were, is he or she the one for me? What's the wildest thing he's ever done? How many sex partners has he or she had? If you...
You don't want to know that, no?
if you care about money, is he or she broke or head over heels in debt? In case that you are curious, has he or she been arrested before? And I think the most important question that we ask ourselves is, how can I be sure? Well, how can you be sure that that person is the right one for you? Well, I think that knowing the answers of those questions can, if you believe it or not, can protect your health, preserve your sanity, and may even save your life. So before you open your heart, you need to open your eyes and your ears and learn the truth behind your new lover in your life. So you need to be prepared because the truth works both ways. So if you ask questions, you need to be prepared to answer them as well. And before starting, I just want to talk about the top 5 questions. And I want to let you know that this article was made by some experts on the field of relationships. So everything I'm going to say is the real truth. And I like to give you the answer of the last question that I made, which was, how can I be sure? Well, it's really simple. If you start asking questions and he or she runs away, don't get discouraged because that's exactly what you want. It sets you up to meet someone who does want what you really want. Because of course, you don't want someone who doesn't want what you want, do you? So, if they start running away from those questions, don't try to stop them. Just say next. Now let's move on to those questions. And the first one, do you practice safe sex? Well, I think this question is really intimated, and I want to ask you something. Very
Intimate
serious.
or intimidating?
Intimidated.
Okay.
And I want to ask you something. Don't worry, it's not about your sex life. I want to know, what do you think about practicing safe sex? It is common in your country, or it is a big issue that people don't practice safe sex?
It's common. We have lots of information. It's better for us to practice safe sex.
Yeah, even though we have information.
Yeah, some
We don't
people.
do it.
Yeah, some people practice. Yeah, but we have information. It's better for us. So I
Do you
think-
guys talk about this?
In your school?
Not really.
Do you know? Yeah, so it's not as open. So for you, it's normal. Like, do you practice safe sex? And for them, it's like, oh, that's something you talk about.
Especially in
Maybe,
Asian
right?
culture, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's more. Yeah.
Kind of.
Is it something any of you have talked about, or do you talk about with friends, or is it something that?
Just with friends?
Just with friends? Well, whether you're having sex with your partner or not, knowing your partner's sexual behavior is a really critical component of building a relationship. So if you're having sex or plan to in the future, you really need to know your mate's sexual partner's sexual habits, because in case of women, We need to know if he uses condoms, and if so, if he uses them with everyone or just with certain people. Also, we need to know if he's gotten someone pregnant, and it's really important to know. In case of both genders, we want to know how many partners they have had. This thing is really common. And also, I think it's really important to know that if they have ever been HIV tested and whether they would be willing to be tested with you. And even though this question is really intimidating, we need to know the answer to protect our health and our body. So don't be ashamed. And some experts warn singles to beware of the people who is elusive, vague, or hostile when they are discussing their sexual history. Because if they behave like that, maybe they have something to hide. What do you want to say?
Don't you think if we make a kind of this lots and lots of questions, our partner will be quite afraid? Yeah, it's important, but it's kind of interest.
Of course, you need to talk about more about themselves, but after you can ask, like not too direct.
Not on the first date.
Yeah, of course.
I'm understanding
I
like this, when you meet some people and you're trying to... So,
how many
yeah, so interest now, it's 5, 6 questions and oh.
But I think it's a simple way to protect our health.
I guess when you're talking about going forward, like if you know you're going to have a sexual
Yeah,
relationship.
these questions are for people who want something serious. Not just for teenagers, puppy labs.
Yeah.
So now let's move on to the other. Why did you break up with your ex?
Ooh.
This is a really common question.
Really?
And of course you don't want to spend your entire day talking about ex-partners, but knowing there are some advantage to knowing the reasons behind your new lover's breakup, and in many cases divorce. And I wouldn't recommend to ask this question in the first date, but if you really want to be involved with that person, you need to ask beyond the immediate. And some experts say that if you ask this question, your lover's answers can tell you more about them. It could be about their character, their tendency, or how they react or overreact in some different situations. And also, it's important if you don't completely address why the past relationship failed, you are likely to duplicate those issues in your current relationship. So you don't want that. So it's better to ask. The other one, what is your idea of an ideal mate? Who has ever asked this question?
You mean to my girlfriend?
Yeah. No? Well, maybe Mexico. We ask.
Oh, really?
We want to know.
What's your idea of an ideal mate?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe I did.
Yeah. So knowing what your potential partner finds attractive is fundamental, because you need to know if you come close to that person's idea of an ideal mate. So if you're dating someone new, you need to ask the question, and you need to know what his or her type is and how you fit into their definition of desirable. The other one, are you interested in a commitment? It's really simple to know the answer.